What's up, MFFLs? Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham. We got a busy show for you guys as lots of things coming up with free agency looming on Friday. So here is what's on the docket today. Number one, could the Mavericks trade for Tobias Harris? Some chatter out there that they are interested. Two, blockbuster trade. Did the Mavs make a big offer and was it declined? We'll explain that story. Then also the Mavericks introduced their rookies yesterday, olivier-maxence Prosper and Derek Lively II, and they have chosen their jersey numbers. We'll welcome the rookies to Dallas to wrap up this show. But first, this is war. Producer Nick Roloff, who's producing the show, but is also stepping into the hosting ring. He's the host of our Miami Heat channel, The Heat Report. Got a couple of thousand subs. He's done a good job growing it, but I got to be honest, I waged war on him earlier today. Between now and when free agency starts at 5 o'clock Central on Friday, whoever gets the most new subscribers has to go, or that person who loses has to go on the other channel and chug a beer. So I don't want to go on the Heat channel. I want him to come on our channel and admit defeat. So subscribe today. Let's beat the Heat Report and new subscribers over the next 72 hours. Okay, let's start today's show. Tobias Harris, could he be making his way to Dallas? We know the Mavs have had interest in the past. New reports say that the Mavs are interested in trading for Toby. Here's Keith Pompey, who's covered the Sixers for a while in Philadelphia. He says the Sixers have been adamant that they're not willing to trade him unless it drastically improves their team. They made that clear on draft night and don't intend to change their stance. However, the Phoenix Suns, Utah Jazz, and Dallas Mavericks joined the previously mentioned Cleveland Cavaliers, Indiana Pacers, and Detroit Pistons as teams making inquiries about the 30-year-old's availability, according to sources. Now, Harris is in the final year of his contract, and it's a lot, right? I mean, $39.2 million, that's a pretty penny for what Tobias Harris brings to the table. But on the flip side, final year of a deal, I mean, it's not like it detriments your future if you're a team trading for Toby, but I do wonder, with it being an elevated price tag, could you get him at somewhat of a discount? Doesn't sound like that's the case, according to Pompey. It seems like they want to keep him in Philadelphia, but do want to continue to explore since the Mavs are mentioned as a potential suitor, a team that's interested. Harris last year, 14.7 points per game, shoots the ball really efficiently. I mean, 50% from the field, 39% from three. The volume's just kind of gone down for him in Philly because obviously Joel Embiid, they've had hard in the last couple of years. Tyrese Maxey has become a bigger factor for that team. So a lot of the time he kind of is just sitting in the corner, and I think he could do more here. I think if you added him to Luka and Kyrie, he instantly becomes your best front court scorer because Luka and Kyrie are going to be your primary guards. Harris could be that number 3 option here, whereas, you know, he's probably that number 4 offensive option in Philadelphia at this point in time. You could work him in on some more post-ups. He can be a catch-and-shoot three-point guy, and he can isolate a little bit as well. So we'll see if something could materialize here. I like Tobias Harris. I don't love that price tag, but for 1 year, if you can match some salaries, I think it could be worth the swing. Now, here's the trade idea that I cooked together. Tobias Harris to Dallas for Tim Hardaway Jr., Maxi, Kleber, and JaVale McGee. The way I look at this, 2-for-1 for Philly. They get two guys that can start or come off the bench in Hardaway and Kleber. They get McGee, who was bad last year, but I still think can be a decent backup center, especially to a guy like Joel Embiid, who's going to play a lot of minutes anyway. He wouldn't be asked to play a lot. Who wins this trade? Type M for the Mavs or S for the Sixers. Let me know in the comments section down below. Now, you notice in that trade, I would not give up a draft pick for Tobias Harris. If they want a future second, okay, fine, but I'm definitely not giving up a future first in that deal. Again, I think a 2-for-1's more than fair, but if you were to add Harris, a potential starting 5 could be Luka and Kyrie in the backcourt. Josh Green's playing the 3, Tobias Harris plays the 4, Richaun Holmes plays the 5, and then your bench unit could be Jaden Hardy or Reggie Bullock. You could start Bullock as well if you want to bring Green off the bench. Olivier-maxence Prosper, Derek Lively II, and then Dwight Powell. Powell's a free agent. There's been some chatter that he could be on the move, but I think if you do trade JaVale McGee, that opens the door to bring back Dwight Powell as that third center with Holmes and Lively. Now, coming up here in just a moment, did the Mavs make a trade offer and was it declined? Let's get you caught up on the latest report from Marc Stein. But first, if you want Kyrie Irving to return in free agency, pick up a jersey today. Chatsports.com/Kyrie. Got lots of jerseys available for you guys to scoop up right now. Chatsports.com/Kyrie. Now, he is changing his jersey number, so Fanatics should get that handled for you guys. Chatsports.com/Kyrie. Go ahead and check that out. DeAndre Ayton. The Mavericks reportedly have made a trade offer, and it has reportedly been declined by the Phoenix Suns. Suns did decline a trade package, according to Marc Stein and other reports at this point in time. Here is the reported trade offer. Ayton would have come to Dallas for Tim Hardaway Jr., Richaun Holmes, who you just acquired, and JaVale McGee. So 2 centers and Tim Hardaway for DeAndre Ayton. Now, Stein reports that the McGee inclusion stopped the deal. The Mavs wanted to get off that contract. The Suns did not want to take on that contract, even though McGee did have some pretty solid years with Phoenix prior to last season when the Mavs scooped him up, but they did not want to bring him on board, so that is what stopped the deal. Now, some of you guys watching might say, well, just take JaVale out of it, swap him out for another player. You can't be reckless because DeAndre Ayton does not come without baggage. I mean, he's got a massive contract. He just signed that max deal last offseason, and he hasn't really taken steps forward. Like, if I'm Dallas, I'm not taking McGee out of that deal and adding Josh Green, Jaden Hardy, or even Reggie Bullock. Like, I'm not giving them Tim and Reggie and Richaun Holmes, 3 guys that would, as of now, be in your rotation for DeAndre Ayton, who's good, but not even an all-star. Like, if I'm giving up 3 rotation pieces, I got to be getting an all-star back, I think. And Ayton's solid, 18-10 last year, but last couple of years, you get him into the playoffs, and he doesn't have much of a role. You watch Phoenix play, and he's kind of just sitting on the baseline. He's not really factoring into what they're doing offensively, and that's a bit of a concern of mine. Right now, Dallas sits with these 3 centers. Dereck Lively, obviously going to be a rook, 19 years old. Richaun Holmes, who's 29. JaVale McGee, who's 35. And look, I want to get rid of JaVale McGee as much as anybody, but you can't just get reckless with the trade. Be like, oh, well, will you take JaVale if we also give you Josh Green? Like, I just think that would be a mistake. And that comes from someone who does not overvalue role players. But again, Ayton's not like a 5-6-time All-Star or something like that. Now, here is something I do find interesting, that despite drafting Dereck Lively, despite taking on Richaun Holmes in that trade on draft night, the Mavs are still trying to upgrade at center. According to reports, look, they tried to trade for DeAndre Ayton, right? So, I think there was some sentiment that, with Lively and Holmes, whether, if they can dump McGee, great, and bring back Dwight Powell, or if McGee's the third center, they might be set at that position. They may not be. Dallas might still be looking to upgrade that spot, so that's definitely something I'm going to keep an eye on moving forward, whether it's circling back to DeAndre Ayton on a different trade package or maybe Phoenix budges. Do they try and get in the mix for a guy like Miles Turner? We'll see. It's going to be interesting to watch how the next several days unfold. Now, should the Mavs offer more for DeAndre Ayton? I made it clear I would not. I think that's a fair offer. He's wanted out of Phoenix. The Suns have tried to move him. You've got a decent offer. It's a 2-for-1. You get Kleber and Hardaway. The Mavs get Ayton. It's what do you value more? And sure, you got to take on JaVale McGee's contract, but it's not like it's going to sink you. And the Suns need some depth to fill out the roster. So why for yes and for no? I would not offer more for Ayton, but maybe you guys disagree. Okay, before we get out of here today, I want to welcome the rookies to Dallas. They introduced Dereck Lively II and olivier-maxence Prosper on Monday. A little press conference, all that good stuff. A lot of photos that were taken as well. Credit the Mavs social team here for putting these out as the 2 rookies were introduced. It's been a while since the Mavs had 2 first-round picks in the same draft, so I do commend them for committing to some youth here. I am a fan of that. I told you guys before the draft, I'd be fine if the Mavs just took a player at 10. Well, not only did they get a first-round pick, they traded down to 12, got olivier-maxence Prosper as well. So I think it was a good draft from Nico Harrison and the boys. Now, what's interesting, something that unfolded after or during this press conference, and unintentionally so, I might add, but Callie Kaplan just tweeted out jersey news after the Nets trade. Tim Hardaway Jr. requested to change jerseys to number 10, and that's going back to the Kyrie trade. Dorian Finney-Smith's old number. Kyrie wanted number 11, so Dereck Lively's going to wear number 2. Olivier-maxence Prosper will wear number 18. My initial reaction is, wait, Kyrie wants 11, so are you breaking the news that he's coming back? I think in reality, it's just once this trade went down, they requested numbers for the following season. That does not mean that Kyrie's for sure going to re-sign. I do think he will, but this isn't actually breaking news. And Marc Stein kind of added context saying that if Kyrie, provided he re-signs with Dallas, he will wear number 11 with Dereck Lively taking number 2. So don't react too much to that. I do think Irving will be back, but I don't think jersey number swapping is confirmation for a new contract, as Siri is talking in the background for some reason. Make the rookies feel welcomed, Mavericks fans. Type rooks in the comments below. Not sure what just happened with Siri. She wanted to get in on the show on that front. Type rooks to welcome olivier-maxence Prosper and Dereck Lively II to the Big D. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow with another episode of Dallas Mavericks Today. Some Dwight Powell rumors. We'll discuss that, plus everything else going on with this basketball team. We'll see you guys soon here on Mavericks Today.